Good morning. This is Evangelist Missionary Dr. Katrina Sanders from the Redeemed Fellowship Outreach Ministry Church of God in Christ, where the founder and pastor is Pastor Robert R. Sanders II. Yes, this is the parent that filed a complaint regarding my son's teacher, substitute teacher, that had given them the lesson about Chief Keef and his personal life pertaining to music history. Before you, as you see, I have actually it's called Skill Builders Reading Comprehension, and I wanted to elaborate on the breaking news article that was published by Grace Wong from the Chicago Tribune when I spoke with her on yesterday. And I would like to thank you all, Mary Mitchell, Grace Wong, and Leah Hope, for covering this story, because it's very important for parents to understand what is going on with the school system. I did, along with my team, did see a lot of comments that was on the first YouTube video, which of course, the YouTube video, which is also, of course, a subsidiary of Blog Talk Radio that we air weekly on www.blogtalkradio.com. I saw a lot of young people that made a lot of comments, but I want to be clear, young people, let's be respectable to adults in a topic. If you don't know how to conversate or have a debate, please, I ask you this, because I'm for sure your parents probably do not see what you do or what you say on social media, but you need to really be careful of what you say and how you say it. You don't condemn a person. Your mind is not mature enough to understand real adult topics, and we understand that the generation 20 and 10 and 30 years younger than I am have a different understanding. So young people, be respectable on the site. I can block you. I will block you. And my husband's a pastor. He saw a lot of comments that I didn't block. So would you please refrain from speaking in the profanity on the page? There was no profanity in the video. I do expect you to be respectful. If you are being in school, you should be taught to respect other people. You can debate without being and using harsh words, okay? If you don't like the comment that's being heard, then you don't have to reply. It's simple. I'm replying to this article that Grace Wong did post, and one of the things that need to be really looked into far as the school system, and that's all around the world, not just Chicago Public Schools, but what should be reviewed is that there should be a parent advisory board created in every school in CCPS, where the parents have an opportunity to meet the new hirees that will be teaching your students. Parents, we have our children, whether we're married, whether we're single, divorced, or widowed. We have an opportunity and an obligation to make sure that our children have the best education that they have. Get to know the teachers, ask questions, get the teacher's cell phone number or office number, email address. You need to see the curriculum that is being presented to your child while he or she or they, meaning you have more than one, are in school. When they are in elementary school, there are certain things that children should be exposed to and should not be exposed to. It's good to be an artist. I myself, I am a writer. I'm also a vocalist. So I as well understand the meaning of communication doing music, of letting yourself be free to speak. That's fine. But in elementary school, when I was growing up, we were not even allowed to listen to Red Fox, Mom's Mabel. We were not allowed to hear Richard Pryor. We were not allowed to hear any of the hardcore Millie Jackson albums that our parents had in our homes. We were not, it was hardcore because it was Ma Rainey, okay? If you all don't know who they are, go on YouTube, Google and listen to it. In today's society, the young children need to learn noun, verb, adverb, adjective, correlation. You should learn how words and phrases are. You should be able to know how they are used in its proper form. When parents send their children to school, they want them to learn how to read a story, comprehend the story, understand what they're reading, and they want them to be able to count money. children like to have piggy banks to learn how to save their money, how to be able to start a little account. They have minor savings accounts now for children. These are things they need to know how to spell. They need to know how to speak. They need to know social science. They need to know how to do science, growing plants, understanding the earth. These are good things that children need to do. Then when they're exposed to music, they should be exposed to the historical background of music. Now, I saw some little crazy comments about Beethoven. You know, in the Bible, Job was upset because he was afflicted by many things, and he was trying to figure out, what did he do wrong to be afflicted? Job in the Bible, for those of you who read the Bible. I don't mean glance at it, I mean read it. His friends came to him and was talking crazy, and his wife even said, why don't you just curse God and get it over with? I'm tired of seeing you. But when Job complained to God, God asked him, where were you when I created heaven and the stars? My question to you all young people, where were you when I was born? Where were you when Beethoven was around? Understand the point that I'm making. I'm not attacking you on an ignorant level. I'm debating with you on a professional level so you can begin to listen. One thing in school you have to do, in high school too, in college, is learn how to listen, comprehend, think before you speak, research. When I was in college at St. Xavier University, we had a book, and it was called Musical Composition. In that book, we learned sonnets. We learned the musical composers like Garibaldi, yes, Beethoven, Bach, Mozart, Martin Luther. And they learned how to write music. Back in the day, we didn't have videos, technology. We had minstrel shows where people went to the theaters to see different type of marionette puppets way before Sesame Street came in on the scene. It was a form of entertainment. Blackface, whiteface. You had, of course, Harry Houdini, who performed magical tricks. You had different entertainers. So when children are in school, they need to be exposed to those things of what fine arts and music is. There's nothing wrong with that. But now, Chief Keef's life, criminal life, and I reviewed a lot of his work yesterday. His lyrics, all of his lyrics is where his mind is at, is what he believes in. Well, that's what he believes. And like, as I stated, he is the same age as one of my children. Okay, I have grown children and I'm a grandmother. So on a professional note of a parent and an educator, there should be a line being drawn for our children to learn. Now, many of you all, I've read your comments. Oh, well, I wish I had that teacher. Well, so when you fill out a job application, what are you going to put on the job application? If your name is Charles, are you going to say Chucky? If your last name is Williams, are you going to say Chucky Will? Rap Master? My address is you know where I want to be or wherever you want it to be. Are you going, when they ask you for employment history, I sold. What did you sell? You know what I sold. No, I don't know what you sold. I have a degree in HR, family marriage counseling, business administration, and in ministry. But understand, if your application came across my desk and you had an application that did not fill in the blanks that were correctly, I would not hire you. No care. I don't care how popular you are. If you can't give me what I asked for in order to place you into the company, where the company can grow and you can make money, earn money, file income tax, or to show you, because I do teach online, how to be a sole proprietor, to own your business, how to fill out paperwork that you need when you are starting a business, how to obtain a business license, how to obtain banking information. See, these are things that you should be learning. Now, fun part is what you do outside. If many of you go back into Sean Puffy Combs, because don't think that, oh, she's so old, she don't, honey, you'd be surprised what I know. Stuff that your mama probably don't even know, okay? I will help you to understand that. I told you all to email me. I gave you my email address. Don't slang with me. I don't use slang. I'm not going to let you use it with me. I'm talking to you. Sean Puffy Combs, yes, he was. Hip-hop artist, rapper. But what did he do with his money? Now he got baby mama drama, stuff like that. But what did he do? Research Sean Puffy Combs. The man has a business. He took that money and rolled it into a clothing line. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's Proactive as well. The facial formula ingredient. So he took his money and he moved it into another area to build what he needs to build. Now, many of you I saw made a comment about Empire. Well, if you were reading that Lee Daniels, from what I understood in an interview that he had spoken of, he thought about the old show, which many of you all do not remember, Dynasty. Carrington, Oil, you wouldn't know about that because your parents probably remember, or your grandparents probably remember. But Dynasty, Dallas, Falcon Crest were the hot shows dealing with oil. So he took a lot of that, if you look at Empire and not worry about all the other stuff, to see that this is a family, a mother and a father who were in the music industry, and they're dominating it with their type of music, but also they did some undercut things that was not in Dynasty in order to build the empire. A lot of killing had to take place, which was not right, but that's the way that he predicted. Now, that's his show. If you have a problem with his show, why don't you call the man and just tell him yourself? I mean, seriously, really. So, with this, I'm seeing that Grace Wong had interviewed with, if I'm not mistaken, one of the media film. I'm scrolling through it as we speak, where she interviewed them in their opinion. They feel it's all right for children to go to school, grammar school, and learn how to curse. They feel it's okay for grammar school children to learn how to shoot cops. They feel it's okay from what they're writing, what they told her, from what I depicted from the understanding. I wish they would call me. I would love to talk to them on the phone, because I want to know, when they give birth to their children, do they teach their babies when they come out the womb, start cursing, I'm going to teach you how to say F, 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 B, 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 F, U, blah, blah. I mean, if that's what you teach your children, that's your business. But don't say to the community. Agree with that, because we don't. This is what happens within the African American community. We become divided. We don't support one another on a positive note. What happened with Chief Keef's life is very disappointing, but that is something that he can speak about. If I'm mistaken, apparently he wrote it, but I saw a lot of his lyrics. I didn't see anything about education or changing my tone of speaking, English language, having a noun, verb, adjective correlation. What's wrong with it? What I'm seeing from a lot of young people, we don't have to have that. Let's just talk nasty and that's the way life is. No, it's not, because everybody don't come from that background. And those that do, they don't fall into that abyss and say, well, we were taught that we have to curse. No, you chose to use profanity as an everyday language. That's what you feel. If you don't know any other words, I think a lot of you all might have misunderstood, particularly young people. I don't expect anybody under 25 to understand what I'm talking about, because you wasn't born around our age. But when we were in school, in high school, we were turned out to West Side Story, Dream Girl music. They had us go on trips to the Civic Opera House. That's expanding your knowledge. That's expanding where music come from. Music didn't start with Chief Keef. He's a decade of centuries later. And he may end up getting old. He's going to get old. I promise you that. But if you smoke cigarettes and do drugs, don't say that it's all right for grammar school children to do that, because that's not all right. We don't agree with that. It will always be an ongoing battle between parents and those who feel in their own feelings. See, I come up with facts and solutions in history. I don't come up with my ideas. This is factual. Not all parents want their child in grammar school to learn, as Eddie Murphy say, filth, flaw, filth. We don't need to see that. When our children go to school, they should have a durable education. You should want your child to have a durable education. Number one, Chicago has its own identity. New York has its own identity. California has its own identity. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, all different states have their own identity. Why? Because if you read, you will understand that a lot of them have their own motto. Chicago is known as a windy city. Okay? Missouri, show me state. See, this is what you learn when you're in grammar school. So you learn things that you need to learn. When I taught first and second grade curriculum, I taught my children about careers, which was a part of the math course. I showed them how careers work, how the difference is going to school, university, college, and then having a blue collar, white collar job, and how to be a successful entrepreneur. I own a business in California, reputable. I own a health club. Be surprised who you're talking to and who you criticize. But I went to school. I educated myself. My family grew up in a very decent neighborhood. We had grease monkeys that lived behind us, and we had working folks that lived on the same block, and we all used to plant flowers. We learned agriculturalists. That's what we did. The projects, I had a lot of schoolmates that were living in the projects, but we didn't judge people living in the projects. They were our friends. We didn't care about where they came from. That's old school. But now we've come into another area where young people are saying, we love the nasty words. We want to learn it. So what you're saying that every day you go to school, you want to hear all those curse words because it makes you happy. Then I don't know what to say what your life is going to be, because only you have a determination of knowing what your future is going to be. But in grammar school, children's minds are very susceptible to everything. I have a granddaughter, and she loves Mickey Mouse on Disney Channel. And they had a little thing where it says hot dog, hot diggity dog, dot, 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 that type of thing. And she likes to move to that. I don't hear no BF, ho, blah, 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 none of that stuff. And she's happy. But when she hears something, you know, shoot them in the brain, take the brain. Why do you want to shoot people? What is the message? Do you really know about law enforcement? Go back to history. This is why it is so inevitable for children to learn history. Learn about African American history, which is not really being productive more in the school system. They go with the U.S. history, talk about the Boston Tea Party and the different type of trades that go on. But we need more, because we've had African American inventors. Okay? Make the flag, the light. A lot of young girls that get their hair done. Did you all know about who was the first beautician that started her own hair care line product? Come on now. This is what you learn in school. But when I see work that is not acceptable and it's profanity being brought into, that means a teacher is forcing my child to learn somebody's bad criminal record. The key thing here, everybody, this includes young people, although you all are going to have your own, but understand, I will delete you. I will. I have that control. I have a team that does that. You should want to care about what you do in this world. You do count. Learn other music. Don't just think hip-hop and nasty, dirty gangster rap is the most important part of life, because it's not. It tells a story, but if an artist chooses to curse, then your material should be censored only for adults. Be respectable. Not every child should come into cursing and swearing, and that's the way the language is. No, it's not. No, it's not. And you wonder why a lot of them don't get good jobs or get good careers. So understand that it's good to be an artist. And I said this before. I'm not stripping Chief Keef about, I have nothing against the young man. I don't know the young man. But because the teacher immaturely brought his personal life into the curriculum was not acceptable or respectable. If she had sent a notice to the parents to ask them in a survey matter, I want to do a curriculum on rap artists. And here is an outline of what I want to speak about. Had she done that in a respectable manner and gave it to the principal and the assistant principal to review these things, none of this probably would have happened. But she didn't. It's called not thinking. And that's the problem with a lot of young people and a lot of people. They don't think. You don't think. You act off of an emotional surface, thinking, oh, well, that's what I like. Okay, well, what you like is your business. But understand, somebody got to stand for children. Little babies should not be exposed to porn. Horror picture shows. When I was coming up back in the day, we had Creature Feature and Svengoolie. He's funnier now more than ever. The son of Svengoolie is funnier now more than ever. But this is what happens when we don't come together as parents. Parents, it's nothing wrong with you getting to know, even if you may not know a lot of things, but allow your child to be successful and get into these teachers' face, call them on the phone, call the principal. Do not allow the principal to talk to you any kind of way. And principals, you all have a very tough job, but don't treat the parents like the students. Don't think because you talk to parents and now they're grown, they have children, that they are a child under you. That doesn't work and it doesn't fly. Respect the parents. Respect the parents. They have children. The state need to have money to pay these teachers for these children. So every time a student is absent, the state don't get no money. It's all about money. It's all about politics. But by the same token, we need to revise all of these things. As you heard me formally stated, if that teacher that was over my child's classroom loved that music, that's his or her own thing. In her house or their house or his house. I don't care. But when you walk into a school, I want to see some books, workbook, notes, ditto sheets. They need to learn. I'm going to share this with you all. I had a teacher when I was in 3rd grade, when I was at St. Ambrose Catholic School. She's more than likely deceased by now, but her name was Miss Nixon. And Miss Nixon was my 3rd grade teacher. We were learning how to do multiplication. Okay? Now, we learned how to do multiplication, and the previous day was report card pickup. And I guess the parent wasn't able to make it, so she came on the day while class was in session. So the class, she told us, well, class, you all do this. We had like 20 problems on the board for multiplication to do. We did the work. So the parent came into us and said, Miss Nixon, I want to see you. And we have the Catholic school classrooms are really big. And the next thing we know, it wasn't even 2 seconds. She pushed Miss Nixon to the floor, jumped on her, took her wig off, threw it across the classroom. We run in the corner because we scared this woman. As children, I know most of you young people are going to say, oh, well, she deserved it. Really? But we never knew what went down. We had the counselors to come in. They sent notes home, memos to the parents, sealed, and we never knew what happened. And she was pretty, but we don't know what happened. We really don't know. We didn't know. They didn't tell us that. As children, they didn't do that. That was a respectable thing to not tell us what really went on because it was adult conversations. And let me explain this to you young people. I don't know if y'all parents do it. They probably do. I don't know. But when we were young in grammar school, we couldn't be in the same room when the adults was talking. We had to go in the other room and not be in adult conversation, taking over the conversation like we're grown enough to understand it. No, That was out of order. That's old school. See, we had some rules. We had some rules. So we didn't engage in things that adults engaged in that was against children's ability to adapt and comprehend things. So understand that young people in grammar school need to have a safety net of learning and not be taught in school it's okay to kill. Young people, go out there and buy you a gun. Is this what Hollywood sells? I have family that work in Hollywood. It sells money. I have a cousin that's a reggae recording artist. So my thing is, we know sex sell, dope sell. Why should kids learn how to sell dope? I don't understand it. I remember a couple of years ago, there were some young people standing outside, and they should have been in school somewhere, and they weren't. And I heard them multiply, add, divide, and subtract trying to sell weed. And I told the young men, I happened to have been going to work, I said, now, you know what you all just did? I ran down the whole mathematical system. I said, now, why aren't you in somebody's school? Why are you out here in the streets? Why are you wearing hood over your head? Who told you to put a hood over your head? Who told you not to go to school? I've heard down through the years, the white man told me, the white man ain't told you nothing. He ain't on top of you every morning saying, I got to go out of your face and your community needs to have this because I'm making you do it. You make choices based on what you feel you want to do because you're unlearned. This is why I say grammar school children need to be able to adapt and acquire the right way of learning for themselves. I still stand on it. I will not let it go. But understand that children have a right to be children. Let them have fun. Let them learn some positive things. Let their mind be at ease from certain things. We're not going to always be able to protect them when they're going out of our doors because children change on you in a heartbeat. I understand that. But allow the parents to have a right public school system anywhere in the world. This ain't just for CPS. Let them be a part of the hiring process so they can see what their children are learning. So they can see what their children are getting. It's our right as parents not to release our children into the wolves and they come back orangutans. That's not good. Because then the children don't know how to respect their parents. The Bible say a disobedient child will not live long their days. No matter what family, whether your grandmother raising you, your auntie, grandfather, grand auntie, whoever. But children have an obligation to be safe and parents have the right to protect their children. Listen, this will be it, but the battle is still going on. No matter what you all feel, as I forestated before in this presentation, for those young people that have a whole lot to say, you need to come down to history and learn some things and learn to listen because your emotionals, I got to curse when I say something. No, you don't. You choose to curse. But do that on your Facebook page. Please respect my page enough to know that this is a professional video. And I will be coming out with a documentary about this. I've already completed one film documentary about women, but I'm going to deal with this in a film documentary and send it right on in to the major networks. So my thing is be respectable. But Hollywood and different musical blogs understand children need to be innocent in life somewhere before growing up into those things. We already know we're not dumb parents. Come on. All right? We were not dumb parents. We know our children would be exposed to something. But let it be the proper thing and let it be in time. Until we speak again, you all may welcome to listen to my Blog Talk Radio. If you listen to it, you can go in and say, the name of it is called blogtalkradio.com, www.blogtalkradio.com. Type in Lady Katrina M. You will see a lot of what I'm talking about on my blog. Hear a lot of what we're speaking about on my Blog Talk. I thank you all that have promoted this message, but it's important. Our children are important. I'm tired of funerals and I'm tired of graves and I'm tired of prison cells being built for our children. This is not normal. So young people, if you think it is, it's not. When Ben Wilson got killed here in Chicago, it tore us up. We cried. We boo-hooed. We were afraid to go to school. But your generation, it is not right for you all to think that children in grammar school should be afforded the opportunity to learn about horror, profanity, and killing police officers and killing your family. That's not normal. Until then, you all have a wonderful week. I've got class to teach. Be safe.